I want to impart some of that stuff in the different topics that I'm addressing with you. And one of them is next week I'm going to talk about your story, your voice, your time. Yes, we're online again on the radio as well. Thank you. We're back at ibgr.radio, and my name is Jan Roberts, your host, the Inspirational Entrepreneur. So we're just going to carry on, and I'm going to cover the topics. I'm just going to see. I've lost a few minutes here, quite a few minutes, but we're just going to keep going. It's a live show. But next week I'm going to talk about your story, your voice, and your time, and that's important because a confident entrepreneur helps their people find their voice. See, it's also about your voice, but think about it. What I'm going to talk into is everybody's got a story, and early on I thought my story didn't matter. But everybody's story matters, your story matters, my story matters, and we all inspire people. Now, your story to lead to you becoming an entrepreneur, to your failures, your successes, because people like successes, but they love your failures, because they can connect with you. You're more real, you're more relatable, if you like. So, how is your story developing? How are you using your story to connect with your clients, connect with other people in your networking sessions, in your potential clients? See, your story tells a lot about where you are right now, but where you've come from as well, and it can be so powerful. So we're going to develop that, and also how to create that story properly, and that's what I do in JR Speakers Club as well, and how to use your voice. Because if you just got a monotone voice and talk to people like that, it's going to be very boring very quickly. So you need to use a little bit of your, tonality and all that kind of stuff. But we're going to be working on that, because this is your story. You have a voice, and this is your time. So make your time count. Every minute counts. Money you can get again, but your time you'll never get back. Then the next one is going to be about grow up to go up. Now you might already think about it, because that's a growth mindset. And a growth mindset demands personal development as an imperative. That's why I'm going to be talking about your growth plan. And, are you growing through life, or are you just going through life? And as an entrepreneur, even if you're starting off, you need to grow every single day. It's got to be intentionally. Whatever you've been so far, take that with you as experience moving forward. But you need to grow. Then I've got your why is your GPS for success. Now again, that's very important, because knowing your why gives you the direction you need and the inspiration to get you out of bed and excited every single day. Now it's not always, your passion is not always something that you can make your purpose in life, because sometimes your passion, you're not good at it. Well, use it as a hobby then. But if it is your passion and you're good at it, you're excited about it, what is it? What makes you get up? What makes you sing? What makes you cry? What makes you sing? Those three things. And maybe not in that order, but those kind of things. What is it that you really feel alive with? We've only got one life. So what is your why? I'm going to talk into that. Then I'm going to talk into the persistence. I'm just have to keep an eye on your time now. Okay, we've got some time. Persistence is not just a nice to have. Now, I know my friend Mikael Korsgaard and myself, we're actually going to start Think and Grow Rich again next week. We're signed up for it both, as well with another friend of ours in the mastermind group. Mastermind group, that's another thing. Be in a mastermind group, and that is something that we can develop. I'll talk into that as well, by the way. But we are in a mastermind group for the last year, and it's something amazing. But persistence is key. It is about never giving up. It is about falling down and getting up, brushing yourself up, because the Japanese saying is, fall down 8 times, get up 9, or fall down 7 times, get up 8. Because you don't drown by falling in water. You drown by staying in it. You need to get up and use those experiences you've had. It's talking about failing forward, but you need to persist. Persist until. I'm going to talk about that, because there is a brilliant exercise about persistence you can do for 2 weeks. If you can't do that, don't become an entrepreneur, because it is about the grit. When the traction, when the wheels hit the road and they start spinning, sometimes you might need to slow down, but persistence is key. So keep going. Then I'm going to be talking about getting to know yourself as a serious business. What defines you? Know yourself, know your future. Because again, it all fits together. These things all fit together. It's like domino stones. You need to set them all up again. And sometimes they fall down and then you need to start again. But you need to keep persisting, and you need to get to know yourself. How do I tick? How do I communicate? How do I learn? Learning styles, communication styles, leadership styles. How do I do? You can't give what you haven't got. So how can you fill yourself up? Because that's also, you can't keep giving if you don't start taking stuff in. So again, it talks about not just a growth plan, but it talks about your profile, who you are as a person. How to connect better and how to build relationships with people. I'm going to have a little look. We've got another 30 seconds, but it's all very important. And none of these subjects are set in stone, because you are important to us. We've cut our time on the radio in half today, and I don't know what will come before that. But we're just about to take another break. But join us. We're on Instagram, we're Facebook, we're Twitter, we're on YouTube, but also the ibgr.network. Come and join us. And don't go away, because very shortly we're going to take another break, and we're going to start discussing the other subjects I'm going to cover in the shows for the next 3 months. So we'll see you soon. If you're on the radio show and on Facebook, we're staying. So don't go away.